Hi there, Arne here. As I mentioned previously, I wanted to try and check in once in a while with this construction project to just keep you updated, let you see how things are coming along, let you see what we're finding underneath this roof membrane, and yeah, show you the extent of the damage and how it's all being put back together. All in all, not seeing any surprises yet, and if anything, I'm actually pleased that the extent of the damage to the exterior wall here is not worse than it was. You can see a couple small patches of plywood were replaced, and that's it for the wall portion. Up on the deck here, there's a little bit more that'll need to be done. But you know what I like? I really like seeing older, experienced guys teaching young guys the trade. I love that. We don't see enough of that, I don't think. And now that the framers have done most of what they need to do on the outside of the building, we can turn our attention to the inside here a little bit and dry things out. We've got the heat going, we've got fans blowing on this, and we're into some really nice weather for the next week or so, and so this will get a chance to dry out really well, and the framers can go ahead and start working on this at their leisure, while the roofers continue up top and get going on the membrane and the scuppers and the flashing and get that all done up properly. I'm really looking forward to seeing that come together.
Buckle up your safety as I give you a day in the life of facilities maintenance.
The weather's cooling down, and I wasn't able to be here yesterday when the roofers were putting new scuppers into the rebuilt end of the modular building. But I'm going to take a look now and see where we're at. What a beautiful morning, though. You can just see Mount Baker between the trees right there. And I need to watch my step, because when it's like this, things can be a little slippery up here. It feels different when I'm walking. The rocks are actually frozen together, and so there's less movement under my feet.
Well, looks like the scuppers haven't gone in yet, and what they are doing is re-insulating the roof deck.
Now, when Frank called me yesterday, he said the roofers were here putting the scuppers in, and yeah, obviously they didn't get that completed. They're actually not even at that stage to put the scuppers in. They need to put the insulation in first, build the roof back up, and then put scupper pans and the scuppers in. But I'm just going to stay over here. You can see the frost on the rubber over there. It's treacherous, and there's no reason for me to walk down there at this point in time. Well, it's a few hours later. The frost is gone, and it looks like a little progress has been made. Insulation is back in place. Looks like they've cleaned things up and they're getting ready to redo the rubber membrane, after which they can install the scuppers. And I can actually see already that with the hole that they've cut through the curb there, that the hole on the outside is actually slightly lower than the hole on the inside,
which will allow them to have a positive slope on the scupper this time around.
and then sealed up properly on the outside. That should prevent any of the capillary action water from being able to come back in underneath the scupper and into the wall cavity itself. So I'm thinking next steps are they are going to clean up the rubber membrane and repair that, get that back in place, and then once they have that, they'll be ready to put the scuppers in. Two things. It's really nice to have this off my plate so Mark and I can get back to the other repairs at all the other campuses that have been piling up on us. And more importantly, it's really nice to see this being done properly. I'll try and keep checking in periodically today to give updates. This morning I picked up a really sweet deal on some new batteries for our scissor lift. The ones that are in there are pretty old, and even after a charge, there's 4 6-volt batteries in there, and even after a charge, we're only getting maybe 24.2 volts across all 6. And I just picked up 4 2-year-old batteries that are like new, really healthy, each one measuring 6.4 volts, which gives me 25.2 were I to connect them in series and take a reading from end to end. So that should wake our scissor lift up considerably, as these batteries are getting old enough that driving from the high school to the elementary school, which is just down the street on the other side of those townhouses over there, leaves you with having to recharge the batteries before you actually use it at the elementary school. So these batteries just showed up on Marketplace. The timing was great.
Here's another good example of an older fellow mentoring a younger fellow.
Or you could just do it.
And with the new scuppers installed, we did a wet test over the weekend where we blocked the exits, put about 100 gallons of water up on the roof, and then let her go. And not a drop came through.
Man, what a difference in the way this membrane is put down. Let me overlay the way it was compared to the way it is now. Can you tell the difference?
We're still waiting on some cap flashing to finish things off up top, but with the water issue resolved, we can get back to work and finish up the interior. We're removing the old support post where the different plates got quite rotted, so some temporary support is there while those are gone. And with all of this exposed, it actually doesn't look too bad.
Well, once the framers pulled things apart, the damage was not as bad as we thought it could be. It actually looks pretty good.
Time to hit all of this with some mold killer spray.
My trigger finger's getting tired.
Oh, switching hands.
I've given everything a really good soak down with this stuff, and I'm just going to let that sit for a couple hours before I turn the fan back on. If I turn the fan on too soon, it'll just evaporate off the surface and won't have a chance to soak in. So I'm going to make sure it has that chance. Okay, it's a few hours later. Everything has been soaking for a while. So I'm going to turn the fan back on, and I think I'll turn the heat up in the classroom overnight. Not up too high, but just on. Just to make sure it's really dried out by tomorrow. Yeah, that's nice. Permanent hold, 19 degrees. That'll dry things out nicely. Let's make it 20.
Okay, it's the next morning, and everything is nice and dry. And it's interesting. The white is darker, and the black is lighter. So everything is dead or in the process of dying. So this is actually ready to be covered back up again. What's going to happen next here is insulation, vapor barrier, and drywall. Just like that.
So I just popped up here to take a look and see if any progress has been made, and none has. Well, it's a good day. The roofers are back to finish off the scuppers, and the way that they are flashing and sealing around where the scuppers exit the exterior side of the building, I'm very confident this time that we're not going to have any capillary action water coming back in and into the wall cavity. That's a really good thing. And here comes the flashing, which was the reason for the delay in getting this stuff wrapped up, because it has to get preformed to the exact dimensions that are needed.
And of course the weather is gross on the day that it actually arrives. But wouldn't you know, the rain has stopped and the sun has come out and things are drying.
Things are back on. Not too much worse for wear. I see they did put a strap around there. And I'm also noticing a band clamp missing. There it is, down there. I'll have to come back and put that back where it's supposed to be. And yeah, I guess we'll just rely on the rain to wash the mud off the side of the building now.
And even from this distance, I can already see how the scupper installation is much better than it was previously. You can see how much longer the throat of the scupper is compared to the old ones. The old ones were cut back almost flush to the edge of the building, whereas these ones extend all the way out to here, which means that you have full access to that seal against the building here for inspection and any kind of maintenance that you need to do. And if any water curls back up underneath the throat of the scupper into the box, it's not getting into the building.
Now let's go take a look at the other scuppers by way of comparison.
And what's the first thing that you see here? If I wanted to do an inspection on the seal where the throat of the scupper extends through this piece of flat flashing on the side of the building, how am I going to do that? It's not visible. It's underneath the flanges of the box that goes into the downspout.
Now you can see a difference already in that the throat of the scupper does not extend out away from the building on this older scupper installation. They've actually cut it off flush with the building. Let me just remove this piece of goop here. It actually extends about 1 inch beyond this flat piece of flashing right here. And then they're relying on an area that isn't sealable. If I stick my finger down here, this piece, you see how I can flex that with the end of my finger? The bottom of the throat of the scupper is just sitting on top of the underside of this piece right here.
This box that goes into the downspout.
And so water is able to go from here and curl back underneath into the actual building itself, into the wall cavity.
In fact, the angle that I'm showing here and the way the sun is hitting this is giving us a really good visual of the bottom of that throat of the scupper. And you can see that there's actually a gap there between it and the box that goes into the downspout. And because it's mounted flush against the side of the building, I can't even tell if there ever was a gasket or seal or any sealant in there. Furthermore, I can't inspect it and update that seal if I ever need to. But believe it or not, even with its flaws,
this is a nicer job here. This flashing and whatnot
is nicer than what was done over on the other side, because like I've mentioned in previous videos, those last two scuppers at that end of the building is where they finished the project, where they just wanted to get done, and they just threw it together really half-assed, if you don't mind me saying so. This is better, but it is not great. There are still flaws here. I really like how the other installation takes this whole boxed assembly and moves it a couple inches away from the building, because there's no way that they can seal up underneath the edge of this here. So what I'm going to have to do down the road is remove these and put some kind of gasket in between the bottom of the throat of the scupper and the underside of this piece right here. Well, that's a wrap on the water leak mystery and the rebuild of the modular building. Thank you so much for watching. If you've watched all the episodes up until this point, our work on the modular building is not finished. There are always things to do there. There are other minor,
let's hope they're minor,
other roof leaks that need addressing in other parts of the building. That other scupper that I was showing you just now, there are water stains in the ceiling tiles underneath that location. So like I said, a little bit of water is sneaking in underneath the throat of the scupper and that cap piece that's been fit over top of that. But we'll take care of that in the spring and make sure those areas are all sealed as best as they can. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have a great day. See you next time.